Hey folks, thought I'd check out eBay to see how things are going. Still a little bit disappointing, or a lot disappointing, but I guess it's the times with the quarantine and all that, but I'd hope stuff would go higher. Stuff isn't finished yet, it's still got a day, so a lot of times the things don't happen till the end of the auction. So here we go. Up top is a porcelain enamel sign that should go for $1,500 really, and it's at $242. The reserve on it's only $500, so somebody will probably snap it up for just over reserve, I suspect, is what's going to happen. The Boer War syringe is a $125 item. It's at $9.99 US. We listed stuff on .com this time and in US funds, and I find that things seem to be going a little better, but not terribly better. But let's see. Northwood Opal White Clear Rose Show Carnival Glass Bowl or plate. We had a interested buyer at $125 US. They wanted us to put a buy it now on, but we just thought we'd let it ride. So who knows where it'll go. The John Erzinger Tobacco Match Striker should go for at least $125, $150, but as you can see, it's only at $18.50. Let's see, down to some stuff that's mine. Zero bids on the Union Estate spoon. Marshall Wells catalog, that's a 75 to 100. Oh, that one actually is probably $125 retail. It's only at $10 as you can see. I've got these commercials. I see there's one bid on them, but there's commercials of 70s toys, and there's one there at $9.99, and I was hoping they'd go a lot higher, but obviously they're not going to. Railroad spoon, nothing. Railway spoons, cutlery, nothing. Nothing on the microphone, nothing on the Crico, nothing on, yeah, it's unfortunate. Zero bids on the Vertibird commercial. The Longines case is probably worth $100 or so, but it's sitting at $15.50. On Abe, that Ferrari auction catalog is about $125. It's the cheapest one you can find. But or maybe it was less than that, but I've got mine for $9.99 and no bids, so what does that tell you? And I've got a whole bunch of vintage tie clips up for $10, and most of those tie clips are 5 to 15 each. Some cutlery catalog. That marble catalog is probably a $60 catalog, and this Buffalo lamp, I had one up previous, it sold for $175. I happen to have 3 of them. That's the second one. Hopefully it'll go for something in the same range, but it's at $50 at the moment. No bids. So one bid on catalog, that's probably a $30 catalog or more. Well, actually that one, it's 1929, so yeah, it'll be more than that. Some beer caps for $10. LED watches, oh, they've got a bid finally, but each watch is probably a $30, $40 watch. Oh well. Georgian Goffring tongs, they're from the Georgian era. They're used for ironing your cuffs, your ruffled cuffs. We've got a couple more catalogs here that should go for a lot more than what they're at, but they don't seem to be moving terribly high. But at least they're getting some bids. Couple watch fobs, no bids. This arcade cast iron toy is probably around $75, $80. It's at $36 now. This Watts liqueur pitcher seems to be getting some serious interest, so that's good. There's a couple other pieces of no bids, no bids. There's a scarce tin here that's probably worth $125, but it's at $10. Not too great. The Dominion Auto Association car badge, which should go for a lot more than that, but it's still sitting no bids at $10. And this Grand Trunk Pacific plate is probably $75 to $90 plate. It's only at $20 US right now. And these bicycle seat covers, I had 2 cases of them. These are the last ones I've got, and I saw somebody else selling them for $65, $75 a piece. Whether they're getting that or not is up for debate, I suppose, but mine are sitting there at $10 for 8 of them. And 2 boxes of pen nibs for $23, pretty cheap. No bids on the Eaton's catalog, no bids on the Gordon's, no bids on the Kinderland's bottle. No bids, no bids, no bids. So it's kind of, I don't know, a little bit disappointing that there's not more bids happening. You know, a lot of people seem to be saying eBay's doing real well, but I can't say it. I can't say that, unfortunately. It's not doing real well for me. I think there's more bids happening now that we've got them listed on .com. I really do. But still, stuff isn't going very high. But I guess we'll see at the end of the auction. So that Marconi, I've got $200 and some into it, and it's only at 55. So I have a feeling I'll lose money on that, but we'll see. So yeah. So that's about it. The rest of this stuff is the consignor's own product. So anyway, what we're going to do is once the auctions end, we'll go through them again and compare. All right, hang in there. So some of the listings actually finished shortly after we viewed them before, but they don't necessarily show up on eBay sold listings that quick for some reason. There was some missing, so I couldn't film them at that time. Anyway, here's what we realized, and these are in US funds. For example, the Royal Alexandra Buffalo lamp that sold for I think 175 Canadian last time. This example sold for $135.50 US, which is about 185 Canadian, so it did better. And let's see, scissors didn't do anything. Beekeeper's catalog went for about half what it's worth. Corkline bottle caps, you just never know on bottle caps, so who knows? I guess that's good. Yeah, they sold. The watches sold for about a third of what I was expecting, maybe. Well, even less than that, actually. Goffring tongs didn't sell at all, which is very surprising. Maybe they're in a wrong category or something and nobody saw them. Who knows? But you never know. The Marshall Wells catalog went for a decent amount in the US. The Wire catalog didn't do so well. The Yankee Toolbook is disappointing at $10 or $11. Marbles Outing Equipment, it's normally a $50, $60 catalog. The Boots one was disappointing at $10. Watch fobs got nothing, didn't sell. The Arcade cast iron toy hand pump went for about half what it's worth. That one didn't sell. The Pitcher did well at $112. That was actually made me happy. There's one good thing. One thing sold decently. Let's see. No, and the others that didn't sell here. And the Royalty tin sold very cheaply at $15. Dominion Auto Station got nothing. The Grand Trunk Pacific plate got pretty much close to what it is worth, really. 75 US I think translates into nearly 100 Canadian, so it was close. It's worth between 75 to 125 Canadian, really. The seats went fairly cheap, but they're long since paid for. The pen nibs sold for 26, catalog for 15. That's a cheap catalog. And those didn't sell at all. Catalog went for $15.50. Baseball gloves were disappointing. They didn't. Some of them didn't get bids at all. The Usher's pitcher, that's grossly disappointing. That was that's probably a $300 pitcher. Sold for $12.50. Somebody snagged themselves a heck of a bargain there. And then one that didn't even get a bid. Those pictures date from the mid to late 1800s, actually. Oh well, what can you do? It's auction. Other hand, a scarce left-handed baseball glove that was worth probably $125 or so, sold for $12 US. Ooh, ouch. This match holder is probably easily worth $125. Sold for $11. The Marconi clock, I lost money on that sucker because I had over $200 into it. I was happy to buy it at $200 too. Guess I shouldn't have been so happy, huh? A couple catalogs. Just ignore my phone. I've got people responding to me here, or not responding. It's not live or anything. Sorry, but the CP railway lamp did okay. Didn't do anywhere near as well as the other ones have done in the past. Next one's really disappointing. It's this rare one of 3 known Winnipeg sewing machine supply company sewing machines. It sold for $64 US, so not even 100 Canadian. That's probably a $350, $400 machine. A piece of Murano didn't sell at all. It's $85 vase, $10 it's sitting there for. And that's it until this next round this evening. So stay tuned. We've got another round of finished auctions to do. Before we go on to eBay, I thought I'd give a quick shout out to, or not so quick shout out, to all those new subscribers we've got, 23 of you, in the last 28 days. So, thank you much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. On my way to a whole 100. I think I'm at 67 now, so what, 33 more to go? Oh boy, can't wait. I'd like to get to 1,000. That's the goal. And but let's take baby steps first, I guess here. So we'll get to 100 hopefully in the next little while. So anyway, share, like, comment. Don't be shy. There's sure there's something to say about the videos, whether you got a good sleep through them or something like that. Just make a comment. Say you enjoyed it or whatever. That's great. Yeah, just don't sound like a scammer or a spammer, because I noticed there's a few of those we've had to deal with and block. Anyway, yeah. So most of you have come on through and grab a pen and paper through Storage Auction Pirate, Locker Nuts, Desert Hunters, and What the Hales. I think that's probably the 4 main ones that you've seen me on, and thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it. In some cases I've subscribed back, in others I haven't because I probably missed, and I can't subscribe to everybody, unfortunately. I'd like to, but then I can't find anything on my feed. But don't take it personally. Yeah. And what else? Let's see. And I was on a live feed the other evening on Storage Auction Pirates live feed, which was interesting. Thinking I might do a live feed sometime once I get established, once I get to 1,000 people, so I can have at least a half dozen on a live feed. And yeah, we'll chat about picking or whatever. I'll put the link to the live feed below in the description, or in a comment or something like that, in a pinned comment, and you can see me in all my quietness on the on that live feed. All right, back to eBay. Here we go. This way. Or this way? I always forget. One more thing. I've got some ideas for some future videos. They may be videos that will be monetized in some way, whether on YouTube or off of YouTube. I'm still thinking on how to go about it. They contain or will contain information that should be worth something to somebody. So it's on sourcing inventory. And I don't mean just vintage inventory. So this is more of a general reseller's opportunity. Most of you probably won't realize I had a recycling store at one time called Scroungers Salvage, Surplus and Thrift. It didn't pan out due to 4 major things that were beyond my control. It all basically conspired to sabotage the business, unfortunately. Long story. Maybe I'll tell it sometime if people are interested. It's one of those, oh my goodness, I can't believe it sort of stories. But it's stuff that actually happened. The business itself was viable. There was actually another business went on to become an established business, basically using a very similar business model in sourcing inventory. Although I don't think they've gone to quite the extremes that I was headed. They've kind of remained fairly local. Yeah, I even had another businessman want to buy into the business, but they wanted 50%, or not 50%, sorry, 51%. They wanted controlling interest. So I was a little, I wasn't keen to let it go, but in retrospect, I wish I had, just to see it prosper. But anyway, I still have the idea. I still have all the information in here. A lot of ideas and ways to do with things that I haven't seen online. I haven't seen anybody make them available to people, and I haven't seen them being implemented. Yeah, and very interesting that this hasn't happened yet in any major context. I've seen a few nonprofits that have tried to take on the idea in a way, but they lack not focus, but some of the requirements to make it work on a large scale. Anyway, so I thought I'd let you know that that's coming down the pipe sometime. Not sure when, and I'm hoping to make it kind of a subscriber only thing, or a group only thing, where you have to pay $5 to access those videos or something like that on a yearly basis or daily basis. I'm not sure. I have no idea. It's just an idea at this point. So anyway, hang in there for that. And now we'll continue with eBay stuff. So here we go for the prices realized this week. The parrot enamel sign didn't sell. I'm not disappointed about that. It was a good thing we put a reserve on it at 300 US. It's still or not even 300 US. It's far below what it's worth, and I'm not unhappy to put it back on my wall. Anyway, the Boer War syringe, value about 125, sold for $10. The Northwood Opal White Roadshow Carnival Glass Bowl sold for $127.51. Didn't go up any at the end. Erzinger Match Striker Holder sold for $26. About 100 less than it's worth. And let's see, these were mine as well. The Marshall Wells catalog selling for $76, which was where it was at when we last looked. Commercial for Big Jim. That's it was Big Josh actually on the commercial, so it's his confidant, I guess, or friend or whatever. Sold for $9.99. Disappointing. Some cutlery sold for $43.55. Some Canadian Pacific Railway cutlery. It's okay. Probably only pays for about 5 of the fish forks, or 4 of the fish forks is about all it pays for, but oh well, it's sold. At least it went for a decent amount. And then the next couple microphones didn't sell. Crico Frost Shield bottle went for $18.44, which is about, I guess, about 25 Canadian, something like that, which I guess is okay. I would have thought it would have gone for more, but oh well. Canadian National Railway cutlery didn't sell, which is unfortunate. The commercial for the Vertibird didn't sell. Sad as well. And the Longines pocket watch box sold only for $16.50, which is, that's a disappointment, but what can you do? And didn't sell, and so it sold for $10, the 35 vintage tie clips. Let's see. So on the Royal Alexandra Hotel lamp sold for $135. I think we already did these, didn't we? So we're back to where we started. So that's it for this week's update. So, happy picking, safe picking. Take care. Sticking in there, I see. That's good. Now the next item is a World War I military button, British military. I believe the Canadians wore these as well. There it is. Made by Cheney of Birmingham. Like I said, there she is. Right there. Anyway, it's going in the box. Slowly filling up. Happy picking, safe picking. Take care.